The bank heist of the century. Firm. Let's get it going.
Jenny is working the night shift at a cash depot in Sweden. She's counting banknotes, tons of money. But by now, it's just pieces of paper to her. Routine, really. Just like these headphones she and the others are wearing to block out the noise. But suddenly, a new sound starts to creep in. Wait, is that a helicopter? This is the beginning of one of the most spectacular bank heists in history. Robbers will strike several locations across Sweden at the exact same time. The police will be outmatched, the authorities humiliated, and millions in cash will be stolen. The chase will lead investigators to Eastern Europe. And, of all things, the security camera at a local McDonald's will provide a crucial clue. We dug through countless court documents to piece together how the Vestberga heist actually went down, and who was really behind it.
That's crazy. Hold on. They hit, what, 6 different locations at once? That's crazy. Y'all definitely outmatched. It's just even like a group of like 5, or if it's like a group of 10 niggas at 6 different, maybe it's like a group of like 4 niggas at each location. I know it can't be like
September
2,
23, 2009. Spectacular robberies in Sweden have been making headlines for several years now. But this heist tops everything. As the international press turns its attention to the small town of Vestberga, the authorities are clueless. How much money was stolen? How many robbers were involved? And why couldn't the police stop them? According to a Swedish daily newspaper, police didn't reach the cash depot until 30 minutes after the alarm was triggered.
What?
Meanwhile, the nearest police station is only a 15-minute walk away. What happened? Official statements are vague. The security company that owns the cash depot stays quiet too. G4S is one of the largest security firms in the world. They install security systems and protect sites such as nuclear power plants in the US and even the Pentagon. Right before the end of the month, depots like this one are packed with cash, so people across Sweden can withdraw their salaries the moment the money arrives. A pretty good time to strike. So far, only one thing is clear. This is the first robbery in Sweden to use a helicopter. A Bell 206. It's a relatively small, light chopper, one of the best-selling models ever. It can carry 5 people, including the pilot, but it isn't built for heavy loads. A well-known Swedish criminologist speculates that the robbers could have stolen up to 1 billion kroner from the depot. Back then, about $130 million. Helicopter experts, on the other hand, say that carrying that much cash, it should have crashed. So how the hell did they pull this off? September 23, the early morning hours.
It should have crashed. Dang, wait, hold on.
A small town known for its sea views and peaceful atmosphere.
So was it only 4 niggas in there?
Alongside holiday homes, the town also has a hangar housing these 2 helicopters. They belong to the Stockholm police. And this man sneaking through the bushes has his eye on them. Under each arm, he's carrying a plastic box. The man places the first box in front of the hangar. Then he moves to the back and places the second one. Then he returns to the hangar's entrance and pulls out a hatchet. He smashes the numbered entry pad several times. Finally, he disappears back into the darkness. And then, nothing happens. The man walks to the nearest bus stop and gets rid of his gear. His part of the job is done. Now it's up to the others. Back at the depot. Down here, Jenny and her colleagues are counting cash. Up here, a Bell 206 barrels toward the building. With remarkable precision, it lands on the roof, perfectly positioned between the glass pyramid and the edge. 3 people jump out. One is carrying a submachine gun. Another runs straight toward the pyramid and swings a huge sledgehammer at the glass. Again and again. Meanwhile, his accomplice calmly unloads his gear: explosives, climbing ropes, and mailbags. 2 ladders are attached to the helicopter's skids. The robbers detach one of them and set it down beside the chopper. After a few more swings, the glass gives way. The helicopter lifts off. The robbers enter the building. Jenny's boss spots them. He knows they're coming for the counting room, so he rushes back and yells,
"Secure the money!"
Then he triggers the alarm and calls building security. Yenny still doesn't fully clock what's going on, but her boss's instructions are clear. The cash has to be locked away in these cages made of reinforced steel, secured with padlocks.
Okay.
It's still quiet at the police station, about a 10-minute drive from Vestberga. Inspector Guran Palm is about to finish his shift. He's waiting for his colleague to take over. When suddenly, the alarm sounds. Immediately, Inspector Palm rushes to his car. A colleague jumps in after him.
Okay.
They're told that the alarm came from the G4S cash depot. Helicopter, armed men, on the roof. Palm speeds toward the scene. He feels like he's starring in a Hollywood movie. Soon, they're closing in on the depot.
Okay.
When Palm spots something on the road. The officers jump out of the car to find out what just happened. Chains, stretched across the entire road and studded with spikes.
Oh, shit.
The robbers are inside the building now.
Yo, them niggas done spiked up the road and shit? Oh, nah, these niggas was advanced. You should have known once they had the helicopter. These niggas was planning this shit for months, maybe years.
They set up a ladder to climb up to the 6th floor.
Maybe probably not
The main
years,
vault
like
where the money is usually stored is on the 2nd floor, but the counting room is up here. To get there, this glass pane needs to go. Hitting it with a sledgehammer doesn't work, so the robber uses explosives. He presses a bomb made of dynamite against the glass, connects a wire, and detonates it. They enter the office and smash through this simple door. Now, just a single steel door separates the robbers from the cash depot's staff. In the counting room, the staff is still frantically securing the money. When they hear the explosion, they panic. The team leader has been trained for a lot of things, but not for this.
Jeez.
Then there's another explosion. The robbers are trying to get through the door. The explosion mangles the metal around the handle, but it stays intact. But after a third explosion, smoke enters the room. The staff needs to get out of here, fast. The team leader orders everyone into the main vault on the 2nd floor. They leave the room through a secondary exit, take the stairs down several floors, and enter an airlock just outside the main vault.
Okay.
The airlock is designed for one person. Now 14 people have to squeeze inside, including a pregnant woman.
Oh my.
In this hermetically sealed room, there's no cell reception. The group leader can't call building security or anyone else.
Oh my.
And the door to the vault won't open. They're stuck. Their colleagues in the vault room are also panicking. Building security has instructed them to keep the airlock door closed. They have no visual on the robbers. Maybe they're even hiding among the employees in the airlock. It's so cramped in here that no one can move. The air is stuffy, the heat almost unbearable. Yenny's colleague struggles to pull out a photo of her daughter. If the robbers want to get into the vault by blowing their way through the airlock, no one here will survive.
Literally.
Meanwhile, the robbers have entered the counting room. They carve into the cage's padlocks with a buzzsaw. The locks are gone within seconds. While they're packing, they seem oddly calm, as if they know that no one will catch them anytime soon.
Okay.
Robbing a place is a pretty unethical way to make money. But let's look at this list real quick. Rural and barely making it. Or this one, ethnic second city strugglers. Or our personal favorite, credit crunched, city families.
Okay.
These are real marketing lists, full of vulnerable people to be targeted by predatory ads. Hey, we heard you broke. Worried about securing your kid's future? How about you try it? They may cut your thread off. Click means Palm drove into or scan the QR code to get started. The spiked chains Palm drove into aren't the only ones. All around the depot, every access road is blocked by metal chains about 10 meters long. If a police car drove over one of these chains, its tires would instantly be sliced open. The robbery has been in progress for more than 15 minutes now. The helicopter is still circling above, meaning the robbers are still inside. Police request aerial support from the military, but the armed forces can't provide any aircraft. Instead, police helicopters are ordered in. We don't know exactly how, but Inspector Palm eventually gets close to the depot. He sets up a roadblock a few hundred meters away from the building. When Palm and his colleagues ask whether they're allowed to fire at the helicopter, the answer is a strict no. It's too dangerous. Instead, they're ordered to wait for the National Task Force. Palm is frustrated. All he can do is stand there and wait. Luckily, a police helicopter must already be on its way. Or is it? At 5:30 in the morning, Police officers in Mittinga receive an alert. Robbery ongoing, a helicopter is involved. Air support required. 2 officers race toward the hangar. Their helicopter was returned just hours earlier. They'll have it ready in 10 minutes and be over Vestberga 15 minutes after the alarm.
Okay.
But at the entrance, they stop. Is that a bomb? There's no way they can reach the helicopter. And even if they could they really risk taking off in a fuel-filled helicopter next to explosives? The 2 officers have only one option: call in the bomb squad and wait at a safe distance. So the White Bell 206 keeps circling above the cash depot, unbothered.
Oh, these niggas is...
The security team watches as the intruders reappear in the courtyard and make their way toward the roof.
These niggas are... They thought of every single thing. Oh, it's so over with. It's so over with.
Carrying at least 7 bags. They hoist them up. The 3 men climb the ladders. One hesitates for a moment, as if he wants to go back in to get more of the money. Then they jump into the helicopter, bags in hand. And just 30 minutes after hitting the cash depot, they disappear into the morning sky.
Oh my gosh.
When the SWAT team enters the building, the robbers are long gone. Finally, the airlock door in the cash depot opens. The team leader, Jenny, and her colleagues are safe. At the police hangar in Mittinga, the bomb squad is in full swing. They use a water cannon to neutralize the bombs. But there are no explosions and no smoke. As the special unit approaches, they find 2 very wet plastic boxes with lights attached. They fell for dummies. Meanwhile, about a kilometer away, firefighters are putting out a small roadside fire at a bus stop. In the ashes, they find remains of a mask, gloves, a hatchet, a canister, and a lighter.
What?
Around 6 a.m., people in nearby towns spot an object in the sky. A small white helicopter flying unusually low and slow over the forests. Not a single light is on. The robbers land in a forested park. They take everything with them, leaving only a GPS device and a few cable ties behind. Investigators find the helicopter about 2 hours later. They learn it was stolen from a flight school about 70 kilometers northeast of Stockholm just after 4 a.m.
What the fuck?
This morning?
As the country wakes up, the heist dominates the news. A reward of about $900,000 is offered for information on the robbers. The next day, the Swedish police still have no suspects.
That's crazy.
Despite the fact that they knew about the planned helicopter heist long before it happened.
For real?
A month before the heist, Swedish police receive a warning from Serbia's intelligence service. A crew of international thieves is planning to strike. Serbian police even share specifics. A helicopter is to be used. 3 robbers will carry out the job, backed by a group of around 20 people. The chopper will land on the roof of a multi-story building. The crew will blast their way inside and in under 5 minutes grab the equivalent of roughly $13 million.
It's a group of 20.
The whole thing will go down by September 16th at the latest. If not,
and it was
the
2
plan will be called
helicopters
off.
used, oh my gosh.
The Swedish police put security measures in place. The
3
public
people
prosecutor
hop out,
authorizes
6
phone
different
surveillance
locations,
of 2
18 with 2
suspects.
helicopters as drivers.
As a precaution, police helicopters are moved from Mittinga to a safe location.
Maybe I'm just tripping.
For the planned break-in, the police
6.
identified the most likely target, the Panaxia cash depot in Bromma, in western Stockholm. The second most likely target, the G4S depot in Vestberga. For 4 weeks, authorities remain on high alert, reinforcing their task forces during the nights around September 16.
Okay.
But then, nothing happens, in Bromma or in Vestberga. So the police end the special operation, and the police helicopters move back to Mittinga. That's not the only vulnerability the robbers exploit. In the early 2000s, Sweden sees a string of robberies. The companies hit hardest are the ones that run cash depots. They're looking for help, including from the government. As early as 2005, a security company urged the government to place all cash depots and similar facilities under state protection. A formal review followed and ran for 3 years, but the Ministry of Defense took no action.
Wow.
Because the authorities never classified these facilities as protected sites, virtually anyone can access the building's blueprints. Floor plans of the roofs and facades, staircases and windows, everything neatly documented level by level.
That's crazy.
A Swedish news outlet later asked G4S whether the company had attempted to make the Vestberga building plans confidential. G4S didn't respond.
Wow.
But by then, it didn't matter. The money was gone. and so were the thieves. But they didn't vanish without a trace.
That's crazy,
In fact, they left quite a bit behind. The burned remains at the bus stop in Mittinga, for example, the cable ties used to secure the ladders to the helicopter, the sledgehammer that smashed the glass roof, including bloodstains. Because the heist was so meticulously planned, police believe the masterminds must have had military training. In all of Sweden, only a small circle of people could be capable of pulling off a coup like this. Thanks to the warning from Serbia, the Swedish police started surveilling this circle in time. Now they're sitting on a mountain of data, calls, texts, pages upon pages of logs. One of the people under surveillance is a man called Goran Bojovic, a 38-year-old Swede with parents from Montenegro. Until recently, he worked as a construction contractor. According to Serbian wiretaps, he was recently in contact with a childhood friend, Milan Zevo, who made a career in a completely different field, the Stockholm Mafia. Zevo has since relocated to Serbia's capital, Belgrade. In 2009, Bojovic traveled to Belgrade multiple times to meet Zevo. According to the wiretap, Bojovic handed over large sums of money during these visits. Swedish police realized that Bojovic is asking Zevo for help. At the end of August, the two speak on the phone. You know what? I called a school here and asked how much it costs to learn it. 15,000 euros. Bojovic wants to learn to fly a helicopter. Zevo shuts the idea down. Pilot training would take way too long. So Bojovic starts looking into another solution. It's September 2, 3 weeks before the heist. Bojovic is in his car, driving toward Hepsholmen, a small island in Stockholm. It has a museum right on the waterfront. Bojovic is here to meet these two men. They've been waiting for him. He walks up to them and sits down between them. Just a few meters away, a woman walks her dog. Her real job is to observe Goran Bojovic. She can't hear exactly what the men are saying. She can only keep an eye on them. The three chat for about 5 minutes with Bojovic doing most of the talking. Then, handshakes. One man walks with Bojovic to his car while the other gets into a Peugeot and drives off. On September 28, 5 days after the heist,
crazy. The lady walking a dog is a spy the whole time. Like, I'm telling you, these niggas, they should be crazy.
Police and a Swedish court announced that 6 suspects have been arrested. One of the suspects is Goran Bojovic. Searching his apartment, investigators found a bag containing about 118,500 kroner, roughly $15,000 at the time. He's believed to have put the team together. Another man is arrested at Arlanda Airport just before he can escape to the Canary Islands. The press nicknames him Flykt, which means escape in Swedish. His real name is Alexander Eriksson. He's a TV producer who runs in high society circles with Swedish celebrities. He's even rumored to be in contact with the Prime Minister. Between October and December, police arrest 7 more men accused of helping plan or taking part in the heist. One of them is believed to have planted the fake bombs. His DNA is found in the remains of the gloves and the lighter. In January, investigators identified the man who carried the submachine gun. The police already know him. His name is Zara Kadum, and this was his second armed robbery. Back in 2000, he and a gang stole invaluable art from the Swedish National Museum. He was caught and served 2 years in prison. Now he's been caught again.
That's crazy.
In July 2010, the public prosecutor presses charges. While the 10 arrests are seen as a major success for the investigation, authorities believe there must have been more people involved behind the scenes. For over 10 months, the police gather evidence and interview witnesses. 50 investigators work the case full-time. By now, they have a clear picture of how much the robbers managed to steal. Almost 40 million kroner, about $5 million at the time. That's how they managed to get away by helicopter, not taking too much. Just under a year after the robbery, the 10 men stand trial. 5 of them are accused of being directly involved in the heist. The other 5 face charges of aiding and abetting. The public prosecutor is confident there's enough evidence to convict all of them. But the men deny the charges. Take Alexander Eriksson, the TV producer. He's accused of flying the helicopter on the night of the heist. No way, he insists. His DNA in the stolen helicopter? That's easily explained, he says. After all, the chopper was stolen from the flight school he's been a member of for 15 years. The undercover officer at the museum clearly identifies him as the man in the suit at the meeting with Bojovic. Eriksson admits he was at the meeting. And yes, he talked to Bojovic, but about wind power, since Bojovic works in construction. He claims to have an alibi too. On the night of the heist, he was involved in a car accident. But there's a problem. An hour after the supposed accident, he's spotted at a local McDonald's, about a 30-minute walk from where the helicopter was later found. Surveillance footage shows Erickson calmly ordering breakfast just before 7 a.m. How did he get from a car crash in central Stockholm to a McDonald's in the suburbs? The prosecution is convinced that 2 of the other defendants staged the crash to give him an alibi. Surprisingly, one of them, Zadokadhum, admits his involvement. Investigators found his blood on multiple pieces of evidence.
Damn.
The other defendants continued to deny any involvement in the heist.
Okay.
But after just 18 days of trial, 7 of the 10 defendants are convicted.
Oh,
Alexander
wow.
Eriksson and Zadokadhum are each sentenced to 7 years in prison for armed robbery.
Woo.
The other 5 defendants are found guilty of aiding, abetting, and protecting criminals, including Goran Bojovic, who also goes to prison. Before the trial, they were seen as daring, clever crooks. None of them were elite soldiers in the Balkan Wars, as was speculated. But the trial stripped them of their mystique. They turned out to be nothing more than a ragtag group of violent criminals.
That's crazy.
After the heist, heated debate broke out in Sweden over how such attacks could be prevented in the future. Trade unions spoke out. Handling cash creates a dangerous work environment.
So they wasn't
employees.
even, they were just some criminal ass niggas that just wanted to rob. And they just did some crazy level planning and successfully pulled it off in 30 minutes.
For their protection, maybe they should just get rid of it. According to a report from the banking union, 1 in 4 retail workers had already been a victim of a robbery, some multiple times. And according to an anti-cash lobby group, 2 out of every 3 Swedish kroner in circulation was actually unreported money. The helicopter heist in Vestberga contributed to a shift in thinking. Over time, cash gradually disappeared from daily life. Sweden was the first country in Europe to print paper money back in 1661.
Okay.
About 350 years later, it was one of the first to start abandoning it.
Wow.
The number of robberies in Sweden dropped dramatically. In 2008, there were over 100. By 2016, it was down to just 2. Today, many shops only accept cashless payment. Theft happens online now. In 2025, the Swedish Central Bank reported that Sweden and Norway had the least cash in circulation relative to their economies of any countries in the world.
That's crazy.
But some cash is still around, and someone somewhere has quite a lot of it, because the money from the Vestberga heist was never recovered.
Oh, wow. It was never recovered. That's crazy, bro.